All right, joining me after TSM's opening victory of the 2023 LCS season is head coach, returning from 2022, legendary Chawy. Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on the win, man.
Thanks.
Talk to me through drafting this one and what you expected from Immortals for your squad.
Firstly, versus Immortals, we expected a win. It was a bit scary at first because our early game we kind of spent too much time bot and didn't get too much in return.
Yeah.
And then during the draft phase, I think we could have done better, but I think that was the best we could have gotten. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we expected the Fiora pick. We guessed the Sejuani, we guessed the bot lane Pyke and Draven because we knew the players.
Yep.
So we knew exactly what they were going for, and then that's why we had a game plan going to just destroy the bot lane since they play the main champs and those champions need to get ahead. So that's why we had the draft.
Yeah.
And then the only picks that we aren't really satisfied with was the K'Sante versus Fiora. It was a counter pick for Fiora, but we had to pick it. The other good pick was like Nara, but then they had Sylas, so we're like, all right, let's make this Sylas pick useless, which we also succeeded. So I think our game plan was just ignore Fiora, let her get fed, it's fine, and then make sure that Sylas and Draven, Pyke get useless throughout the game, and I think we succeeded doing that.
Yeah, you definitely did. Early kills, and you had the kill lead, despite being behind in gold, but they really didn't have a lot of agency to do anything with it, so great draft. I kind of wanted to come back to this offseason, and which also is tied to last year a little bit. End of the year, not exactly how you had planned it. TSM not getting to the heights that they're used to, your heights that you're used to as a coach, and you decided to come back here in the 2023 season. Why is that?
So during the off seasons, of course, let's talk about last year. I think last year was pretty disappointing for everyone in TSM, even for me. So I think the thing about TSM was last year when I joined, they said they wanted to let me form the team and stuff, but when we first started, the team was actually formed, and then I was the last to join actually.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really formed by me. It was formed by the past coaches and the GMs. So we tried to rework, try to fix the issues that we had in TSM.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, during summer. So we tried to come back, and then I think we ended up with like top fifth place. Yeah. So I think that was the best we could get. And then why I joined back TSM for this year was I talked to a few teams from many regions, and then the thing about TSM was Glenn is the GM right now, right?
Yeah.
So he talked to me, and then he said that right now TSM could let me focus. I will be the head coach, and then I'll start looking for the players with Glenn, and then we are actually forming this team that we want. Teams that players that are able to follow our course, our training schedule. Because in the past there are players who doesn't want to train that much. Who likes to argue, it's not that easy going on. But so this year, TSM was fine with me going with doing whatever I wanted to do, my training plans, how I wanted to coach, and then these players exactly they just listen to me, and then we actually have a good time going on. Yeah.
So you picked these players, like you had a hand in this. Obviously, maybe it was your number one choices, or maybe not, but you were a part of the roster.
Yeah. So basically, most of it was the GM Glenn. He from this team, and then the whole time he was chatting with me. So
I see.
Yeah, so you, as a head coach, if we're gonna sign you, can we get these players? And then we'll watch the boss and then we'll discuss. So we don't want to go for a superstars name. A lot of teams tried to get like 5 superstars, and then it didn't work out. So we want a team that nobody believed in, and then prove that as GM and head coach, we can make things work.
I'm sure that feels great after a win, in the first game. But what are your expectations for this team? Because it is, like you said, not a lot of superstars. So generally, when you think superstars, you think firepower. Who's going to carry when it gets tough? How do you see that happening here in the squad that you've created now?
I think so. Firstly, because if we look at the players' name, there's a lot of big names coming in this year, especially from Korean, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so many Korean players right now, and if we look at the raw power, definitely they'll be the top of the table, at least for the start of the split. They're going to just destroy everyone through laning phase, team fights. But I think as time goes by, I expect this TSM, as long as we gel well, we should be able to take down those teams and then hopefully fight for the worst spot.
You had a lot of, as you said, conflict and I think growing pains from last year. What has a big lesson that you take away from last year into this year?
I think the most important part is for a team to always look for the head coach first, because you want to know how this person coach, how he wants his practice to go, how he wants his sessions to go. Because if you find players, let's say you find 5 very good mechanically good players, you do not want a very skilled coach or a very challenger coach, ex-pro coach. You want someone who can be there to maybe handle their mentality, their ego issues, their issues,
Yeah.
So, and then if you have a lot of rookie players, newer players, you want a good coach who can help them improve mechanically as a team, bring them in. So I think it depends on how you want, because I think a lot of teams, they form the team wrongly.
Yeah.
So they get like, it doesn't work. The players and the coach doesn't work well together. I think that's very important.
When it comes to NA in general, because we've always talked about it, and I think it got shown on the world stage last year when North America doesn't make it out of groups, and you had multiple opportunities to look at different regions, and you've had success in a major region. What does NA have to do, in your opinion as a coach, to get to the next level?
I think the first one is the practice schedule, because NA in the past, they do 5 games, and then usually the 5 games goes very fast. Like first 3 games should be very normal, and then 4, 5 games, teams just want to end it ASAP. Or even when there are longer games, 40, 50 minutes, and then there's reviews in between.
Yeah.
The games can go after 5 p.m., which is their off time. I have no idea. So they'll just end the game in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I think it's they don't treasure their practice schedule. I think that's one sad thing about NA. And if you compare to Asia, because there's 2 blocks, right?
Yep.
2 blocks of 3 where you can reset, get a mental break in between. And also, usually that would be a night block. So usually you play 8 games, and these games are not rushed. No one plays to end the game, You play to practice, but in NA, sometimes I feel like they just want to end the day. And it sucks, because I think even right now this year, there's about half of the teams that really just want to end the day. And I don't understand, like it's a competitive setting. You're supposed to practice. This is not a normal job where it's like 8 to 5, you play the hours and then you go home. And that's something that makes me very sad to watch. Yeah.
So I guess it's not controversial to say that you probably voted for the 2 blocks of 3. Okay. That's what we had back in 2018. It was 2 blocks of 3. It was, and I have a question about this, because ours was 10 to 1, and then I think 2 to 5, or 3 to 6, something like that. It was earlier. It's now shifted, right? It starts at 1, 1 to 4, and then 6 to 9 or something like that. Do you feel like that matters a little bit?
I think most important part is depends on the LCS schedule, right? Usually you want to scream around time where you're also playing LCS.
I see.
Yeah, so right now I think LCS delayed to 2 p.m. So it's better we start later. So the players get used to the waking hours, to the hours where they should be more focused. Yeah, because in the past I think LCS started way earlier. And also I think this year what changed the most was most teams went to Korea for boot camp.
Yeah.
They understood how the Asian works, and then they know, oh, this works for them, let's try it. So I'm happy that more teams are willing to try out for the different training schedule.
Who's your biggest rival coming into this year? Obviously, new roster, young roster, a lot of firepower coming into other teams. So like for you, who do you get the most pleasure out of beating?
I haven't really thought about that. Let me see. I think might be TL. Yeah, no grudge on anyone on the players, but I feel like they have a very, very, very sick roster on paper. And then so I feel like if you beat a team like that with a roster with my players, they are not known, right? They are not superstars, but they are decent.
Yeah.
But people don't respect them. So if I can make my players, my team, be able to beat superstars, like they have so many superstars, world champion, they have Marine as the coach, it's insane, looking at that roster, you'll be like, oh shit, I'm gonna support this team. So it'll feel really, really good if we can actually beat TL.
Yeah, well coach, this has been a conversation I've been looking to have for such a long time, and I'm glad we had it. Congratulations on your week 1 win.
Thank you very much.
And great on the, good luck on the year.
All right, thank you very much.